Let's bring in our guest to discuss former President Trump's huge lead as we head into the first GOP debate, even though he said, I don't think that's quite right. Let's bring in our guest. Actually, we have Carly Atchison, national spokesman for Ron DeSantis' campaign. There we go. And ambassador for America First Policy Institute, Newsmax contributor, and retired gunnery sergeant in the U.S. Marine Corps, Jessie Jane Duff. Great to have both of you here. We're seeing a lot of polls. We're going to continue to see a lot of polls. But regarding the recent numbers that Sarah just shared with us, Jessie Jane, what's your take? Read between the lines for us.
Well, it's pretty clear, as she stated, most of the voters are not concerned that he will not be attending the debates. I don't see this as a sign of weakness, as Chris Christie says, with his whopping 1%. The reality is we know he has an absolute record, that he is running on a proven record. And this would just become like a circular firing squad. You know, when you're the prize fighter, you're the reigning champ, you don't have to step down into the lower weight category. Let these guys and gals duke it out, and let's see who can still rise to the next level. President Trump was brilliant to do his meeting with Tucker Carlson, who we all know is going to be a hard interviewer. He's consistent with that. And not only that, it's going to take the wind out of the sails of most of this debate, because people love Tucker Carlson and they want to hear what President Trump has to say.
Okay. Carly, let me ask you about this. There have been a history of polls. Bob Dole was way ahead at one point and then barely won Iowa. We know George H.W. Bush had an 89% positive polling at one point. He lost the election. And I'm not saying history will repeat itself, but I'm sure there's still work to be done if you're President Trump, and others have not given up just yet.
That's absolutely correct, and you hit on an important point. There's more work to be done. We are 147 days from January 15th, and Ron DeSantis is out on the ground, putting in the work, shaking hands, meeting Iowans, and you're starting to see that work pay off. There's a new Des Moines Register poll of likely caucus goers in Iowa, and about as many caucus goers who are considering DeSantis are considering Trump, 61 to 63%. This is a two-man race. It's far from settled. We're not taking anything for granted. We have a great opportunity on Wednesday night for millions of Americans who may not have been tuned in to the presidential race just yet to hear Ron DeSantis' forward-looking vision, his plan to reverse this nation's decline and get the economy back on track, finally secure our border. So we're looking forward to Wednesday.
You know, I have another question for you, follow-up, Carly. Just wanted to get to something that we couldn't get to with Ken Atchison earlier, Ken Cuccinelli earlier. We wanted to know, I know that the governor said something that has a lot of people frustrated, so I want to give you a chance to react to it. He called MAGA supporters in Congress specifically listless vessels. We know there's a lot of mudslinging that happens in politics, of course, but we wanted to give you a chance to explain what the governor meant by that.
Sure. Well, first of all, where did this attack start from? It started from Trump's own campaign, because they're clearly in desperation mode. 20 million in negative ads hasn't worked to tamper Ron DeSantis. They've gone after his personality. That's not worked. He's got the highest favorabilities of any candidate in the race, according to that new DMR poll. And now they're using the tried and true liberal media tactic of lying to fit their narrative. It's not going to work. Ron DeSantis isn't going anywhere. And my question is, what happened to Donald Trump? This is somebody who used to be willing to take on any fight anywhere. Now he's not even going to bother to show up on Wednesday and defend his record, which includes, by the way, adding $8 trillion to the national debt, failing to prosecute Hillary Clinton, failing to secure the border. So we're looking forward to Wednesday, because we need a leader who's going to step up and deliver results for the American people. We need a fighter who's not in this for himself, but is in it for the American people. Okay. That's Ron DeSantis.
Let's give Jessie a chance to respond. A lot to respond to there.
I find that actually humorous to hear that he's desperate. Far from it. We've heard the listless vessels comment, and it was taken very hard by Trump supporters, regardless of whether it was referring to congressional members or not. That is another Hillary Clinton moment of calling people deplorables. There's no denying it. You can reshape the narrative all you want, but we all heard it with our own ears. Not only that, desperate? Oh, come on. Let's be serious here. Never in the history of politics has anybody with such a significant significant lead, such as Donald Trump, turn around and lost the primary. So you got a lot of catching up to do. And we know that
Then
Ron
why not show
DeSantis,
up
if
on
we're going to
Wednesday?
be harsh, they have to, I do not interrupt me. I did not interrupt you. Ron DeSantis has been declining in the polls steadily. He has not climbed 1 inch, and he doesn't need to show up on Wednesday. He has the proven record. You all are going to sit there and try to prove that you can match his record because you cannot exceed it, nor would you have been able to prosecute Hillary Clinton because you already know that that did go to court. So let's not start doing the mudslinging with me. I wasn't mudslinging you, so let's not do that. Here we go.
All right, final thought, Carly.
Look, at the end of the day, Wednesday is going to be a great night for Ron DeSantis to present for a lot of Americans who may not have been tuned in just yet to hear his plan to deliver for the American people to repeal Bidenomics, unleash domestic energy production, finally secure the border, fire FBI Christopher Wray on day one. There's a lot to cover. Ron DeSantis is looking forward to that opportunity.
Yeah, all right. Just when the conversation gets extra juicy, we're going to have you guys back on together again. Jessie Jane Duff, Carly Atchison, thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.